In this video, we will look at time card line rounding and see how it is possible to round the times of only the shift breaks. For many companies, capturing accurate time worked on production order operations is very important. However, break time isn't always as important. Let's see how it's possible to round break time without impacting any productive time. This is all configured on the shop floor line rounding rules. Let's have a look at this page. Okay, so we can see that there is one rule that is configured. I will explain it briefly and then we will have a look at the rounding in action. Okay, so we see the shift pattern that is indicated here, the run order. The type here is essentially which field of the time card line will be rounded. In our case, it is an activity, so it's a non-productive activity. So really it's only the runtime that we want to select here because there is no setup time or either start time or stop time. So this would be more applicable to production order operations. That's not our scenario. So we're going to select runtime here. The runtime configuration. So that's essentially the direction of the rounding. We want to have nearest 15 minutes here in our example. So we're going to leave it at nearest value. The round to nearest. So this is the increment of time in which we want to round. We want to have increments of 15 minutes. So 15, 30, 45, and so on. So that's what we want to have. Brief comment there on match is just keep processing, and the filter here, so this is where we will tell the system which time card line to consider. So we can use the lookup here and build a filter. So this is just a filter, and so obviously this is using any field from the time card line, and we've got the activity code 285 because we know that that's the activity that employees use when they go on break. Okay, so let's close this and we're going to have a quick look at the time card in question and then see what happens with the rounding in the application. So let's have a look at this one time card here. So looking at the time card lines, we see that so this is a shift from 10 to 7. The employee did work on a production order operation, and there is another second line here. So this is a break activity that we were talking about. And we can see the entry creation time here is 1:25. So right now it is 1:47. So we don't have a clock off time, nor do we have a runtime. So we're gonna navigate to the shop floor application and then see what happens when we clock off. So I will log in with my employee. Okay, and there we see the exact time card that we were looking at. And we see that the entry here for the break was start at 1:25. So I'm going to click the clock off activity here, and we're going to see the rounding. So we see that we've got a nice rounded number of 0.5, or in other words, half an hour. Let's now go look at the Business Central time card. Okay, so this is the same time card that we just looked at minutes ago here. So there we are. We can see the entry creation time is indicating 1:25 p.m. and the entry clock off is 1:47 p.m. So it's not really half an hour, but because of that line rounding rule, we are actually rounding to the nearest increment of 15 minutes. So in other words, 0.5 hours, meaning 30 minutes. So that's how it's done. That's how we configure the rule, and that's the video on line rounding rules.
Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel for more great content.